Hello YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Arcanium run. Coming fresh from that terrible defeat last week. I honestly think that we had what it took to beat that run, but, stuns happen, I guess. Anyways, the question for the comments today, what is your favorite type of food? I would have to say that mine's probably pasta. I like how it's very versatile, and you can do a lot of things with it. It can be cheesy, it can be savory, it could even be sweet, it can be spicy. You can always try something new with pasta. Uh, Over nearby where I live, we have, I guess I don't know exactly what to call it. It's a Mongolian stir-fry house sort of deal. And basically, you can get your noodles, you can get your other, like, meat product ingredients, vegetables, and put it all into a bowl, and then they give you all different like sauces, and so you make your own sauce with it too. Oh my good lord, I can eat like 4 or 5 plates at that place. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, we'll go ahead and start up another run here. Okay, so I'm looking at a huge green team here. We have the situation where we had 2 runs ago where half of our team is green, though we don't really have to worry about Angorn being green because he doesn't really deal any direct damage. The main green that he does is his backlash and poison for now. But otherwise, Ragnarok's very good at helping defend with either the minions or his weak ulti. We could sort of do a minion idea here because Tara has, well, traps, which when they get killed, they explode forward in an area. And I honestly don't know if I play over these with Ragnarok because he has promote. Are we technically killing this trap? Because that would actually be very interesting. Because instead of waiting for somebody to attack us, we could just play a minion on here. It gets an additional 6 health. And then it'll deal 5 damage forward. 5 red damage even. Incredibly interesting. She's also got one that does a vulnerable. And I believe she's got a poison one too. Yep, up here. Apply 3 poison. There's even a relic. I believe it's rare, but it might be epic. In Scorched Lands. That whenever you play a minion, it'll apply its expired effect. But really the only minions with expired effects is Tara's landmines. So I don't quite know if go there. Question I gotta ask myself is what exactly do I want to do here? I think the Raptorian army is the correct move because it's technically 6 AoE shield. Angorn though has to not use Thorny Shield. I think he goes with Soothing Rain for the cleanse. And more shield. And so then our win condition is just keep Tara alive so that she can win for us. And she can do that either with Volley of Arrows. I've been able to do 300 damage. I think it's actually 600 is what I got. I've gotten 300 damage with this. And where's the other legendary of hers? Multi-shot, I've gotten 300 times 3. So all of her well, that's not even a legendary, but all of her legendaries can pretty much become a win condition. I actually think she only has 2 legendaries. Viper Fang. Well, actually, we can not look at that. Multi-shot. Viper Fang. And these two are ultis. Yeah, she's only got 2, which is very weird. But even this purple here, a lot of characters' purple cards can even become win conditions. And even then, like even blues can get by. So I think what we honestly might do is we might get a card on Tara and then immediately try and upgrade it through an Oracle if we have them available, and try and go for either Volley of Arrows or Multi-Shot. All of these are going to want card draw or retain with arrows because both of these want arrows in our hand. So we need to try and facilitate that as much as possible. And having 5 draw is a good way to get there. But yeah, if you have a character that has offense maxed out like this, and I believe Aurora does too, to make room. Yeah, these characters are the glass cannons that can just basically one-shot the final boss. Mausobus can too. You see, I believe you see me do that. Did like what 600 or something damage with Mausobus with Orb of Annihilation. The trick is that you just got to keep them alive. Ragnarok with the minions can help with that. Angorn's very good at that. He's also very good, obviously, at giving card draw, accelerating specials. So I think that this team actually does pretty well. The question is where do we take this team? And I think, honestly, we might take them to Scorched Lands, just to kind of like have the fallback of maybe we go in with the traps and the minions. But going to Scorched Lands would give us what we can take a look. We could get a red shrine and a blue shrine. The red shrine, with the red shrine, we could have red cards deal additional damage, which is obviously pretty good. We can get the ability to vulnerable enemies, which we actually really don't have, and that would facilitate our one-shotting potential. Red can give you start with 3 Fury, I believe, which would enable us to start doing ultimates. Or maybe it's blue, gives you start 3 Fury, but red, either blue or red. One of them has start 3 Fury, one of them has refund 2 Fury whenever you use your ultimate. And those combo together very well. Purple can add more weak, which is always good. Blue can also, I believe it can give card draw and action points for cards, but I don't think we actually need those. Anyways, I think we go here, and we give the card to Tara, because I was going to say, we might actually get lucky. This might be our source of vulnerable here, but I'm not quite sure that that's the move. Because the only people who are really going to be doing damage, again, because we have Angorn, her setting up vulnerable for 2 action points isn't going to get us anywhere at the start of the game. She'll be able to do that, and then maybe a card for 4, which is going to do a total of 12 damage on her turn, which is acceptable. Would it be 12? Yeah, it would be 12. So then we'd want to grab AP on her instead of draw, which we're kind of leaning towards we want draw. But obviously the game might say otherwise, and then we'll have to head towards AP, but I don't want to like pivot off that right now. There's no reason to do that. Critical damage if the target is poison. This is actually easily enabled. If this wasn't 6, we didn't also get Explosive Arrow, I would take Shatterwood Arrow. The only problem with Explosive Arrow is that it, there's red enemies here. So when they resist it, it's going to do, theoretically, 3 damage in an area. But 3 damage in an area is 9 damage. 9 damage for 2 is still ridiculously good. And this is before we figure out how to crit with this, and it's a great upgrade. Not because of its rate, because it's still plus 50%, but 9 damage in an area is absolutely ludicrous. That's character's ultimates, and she gets to do it for 2. And it's an arrow, so it works towards our current synergy. Otherwise, I would use Shadowwood Arrow. Anytime that you can enable critical damage on your carry, that's one of the main things that you want to try to do. And so, with her having the toxic arrows for 1, and Angorn just having vine lashes right now, enemies are always going to have poison. So this is always going to do 8, which is phenomenal. In fact, it's actually possible that this is still the move, because it even costs 1. We do want to try and reduce her action point cost. And it's also just a better obsidian arrow. But I still think that we take this. I can see us going the other way though. Our map start isn't too bad. First off, I don't think we... Do we want to go to Azir? I think we want to go to Azir. There's the 1 minion relic there. That's about it. They want us to go there for gold. Okay. Okay. This is great. So we can pretty much just farm up here. I would really like this alchemist. I think we're going to start working towards that. I'm going to go up here and try and get this to unlock it, but that's also going to open up these. If any of these are a battle, we're going to have to fight those two. But, I mean, it's that, or we go down through here and take free damage. I think we start heading up towards quests. We're also technically in Anador, which is interesting. Again, when we have Angorn, we don't mind taking like spot damage for 5 here, because he heals 2 to the person who has the most damage every turn. So over the course of this battle, that 5 damage is going to disappear, so long as we can make sure that we only take this 5 damage. Otherwise, he really doesn't have much else going on here. Yep, so we got sundered, but then the bear decided to resilience, which is generally what the normal ones do because they don't have access to the 3rd card. Actually, I don't think that's true on this difficulty. When you look at them, it says that they only have the 2 cards, but due to the difficulty, they have more. Not really a fan of this over here. Yeah, because if anyone's going to need AP, it's probably going to be Ragnarok, but we also want to get rid of these cleaver strikes because they're purple damage, and they're also, honestly, like, terrible rate. The 1 week is basically costing us 1 AP, and it doesn't really help us except against multi-attacks in AoE. Guy's gonna ult again if I don't start focusing him. Get that in there before you use resilience. After he does that, I'm not going to be able to do much damage. Chill? That'll kill. We're going to have to eat this poison. We're not going to be rooted next turn. Angorn's going to have his ulti. We're fine. Did I really take this? Okay. Not that it's bad. Fight's gonna be over, we won't have to use Zangorn's ulti. Five cards. Oh, that counts if... That's interesting, actually. I didn't realize that, because her poison killed the Iron Claw on our turn, or at the end of the turn, we drew 2 and then our 3. Huh. Okay. So again, power on Angorn isn't really good, because he's not dealing any direct damage. We don't have a source of vulnerable, so Heartseeker Arrow is unfortunately not very good. We could take this, due to the fact that, again, 9 for 2 is still very good. So this is a good card by itself. It just... And this is how most of the blue cards work. It's a good rate, but if you can enable it, it does amazing damage. Because this would technically be a crit that's not a crit. Because vulnerable times 2 is double damage, or plus 100% damage, and then you can crit on top of it. Heartseeker Arrow is a lot of damage. But, again, like I said, we would take this, except Leechwood Arrow being upgraded already, we're currently using a lot of poison. So this could be our defense on Tara, and then as soon as we grow out of it, we can upgrade this to our purple and try and get a win condition. Even if we don't ever do that, this is still 12 damage that retains, and it's an arrow for our win condition. So if we were to look at Arrow Storm again, it is also a retain. So we'd be able to collect both of these into our hand. We wouldn't have to technically go into draw, but we'd still probably want like at least 4 draw. And then we'll just keep cycling through our hand until we have full arrow cards, and then we can finish the fight. So I think this is exactly what we need. It's defense on Tara, it's decent damage, and it works towards our win condition that we have in mind. I almost want to take this card pile on Ragnarok because we have to bring his cost down. But we're going to hit this first. Yeah, I'll take that. Great. Probably should have unlocked the area first. Ooh. Ooh. Oh man, this is good. I don't think that we can fit this in yet. We have to wait till we grab that extra AP. So we have to consider, we get this into our hand, the only thing we can do is this. Is that okay? It honestly might be okay. Yeah, I think we do this because... Interesting thing, and I'd have to confirm this, but this is how it works for immune. They actually deal damage to the person behind, and then that gets soaked. So if the person behind has toughness, theoretically speaking, so does this Gargan. So then that means that he has to get hit by 18 damage in order to actually be killed. We want green damage, so we're gonna take this. And I don't think we take Rites of Battle yet. It's a retain though, so it's not going to slow us down any. However, it still is a card in our deck that we have to draw through, and we're going to be grabbing action points as soon as possible on him. We don't also want to have to give him draw if we don't need to, because that draw needs to go to Tara as soon as possible. So I don't think that we put this in our deck, but we do put these two. We replace. Well, I guess we'll see how this works. The minion's going to take 5. Anyways, when you have immune, it'll keep the minion alive because it'll do 0 damage to the person. So it'll be interesting to see if toughness actually reduces that damage and see if the preview's wrong. But it currently says that the minion's going to take all 5 of it. This guy's going to put thorns on. I would like him to not, but there's not much that we can do about that except stack that so that we still do damage on the other turn. Yeah, he took 5. That's unfortunate. If I do that. I think that's fine. Taking an unfortunate amount of damage here. Probably what the play was to play a minion here and just take the 2 damage there. So then she should have 5. Yep. That's very interesting that it works that way. This fight's over. Finally the day that I put a rocket jump on Angorn. One card we don't want is these Bramble Ashes. Want to keep that Oracle available, if possible. Oh, this is going to be a lot of Hex. Yeah, we really need that AP. concerned about the ultimates. Shouldn't be able to use his because I'm about to pop him here. Oh, we're weakened. Good lord. Should still be fine. Perfect. It's a huge get. Not sure we take any of this. High piercing damage is pretty good. Really? That goes up 3? If we do anything, we take serrated arrow here. It's 2 less damage than, oh, we didn't even put explosive arrow into our deck. Oh, man. Wait, it's 2 less than sniper shot. But at least the minions will do a little bit of extra damage. That. I legitimately think we take this. This actually isn't a bad decision either. I just don't know if we take that right now. Probably gonna have to go through this oracle, which is most unfortunate. Do we have a green? I guess we do have a card that we're not using. Might honestly take that. Fine. Hey. Well, we didn't get what we were looking for. Will actually go a long way. Will also go a long way. Otherwise, we have no blue cards. We don't care for this. I think we take resilience. I think that keeping this team alive is going to be the challenge. Especially when you got this guy right here. prefer if he didn't ulti, but I don't know if there's anything we can do about that. How are we resisting all this? Rounds down? I don't trust that. I think we're gonna take 2 damage. Not much we can do about it, though. We took everything. Probably because that was a dispel. I forgot to check. Just my ass. I mean, this is more damage, but I think we do this. Oh! Monkey sees elusive. Neuron activation. Probably could have killed that if I would have focused it, but I'd rather not take the damage before we do a shard battle. Got pretty close, though. Hey man, 46 gold is 46 gold. Over here. I don't know if I think it's called the Victorian Tyrant. Be very good in situations like this because what it does is it just pretty much devours all the minions and gains all their stats. Then I'd be able to take this minion and technically move it over into here. But you've got thorns. That's a little rude. Go. Really want these. Toughness might be required. Technically the tankiest person here. Nature's Wisp card would at least allow us to up tier it again though, for a purple. I don't think that we take 40 gold. Let's take this. Don't equip it. Thinking Poisonous Skin once we get set up. At the very least we could go for a poison build. I'll just take one essence. No reason to get risky and lose 8 damage across my team before we do this. Before I go in there. I think I'm going to use this afterwards. Well, YouTube, wish us luck. 50% lifesteal on this guy. Multi-strike 3. Damage area, sunder, multi-strike. Call me crazy? Good. Famous last words. It's the enemies I'm worried about. Yep. Dark Ranger. Freaking time. Really appreciate this man to be dead. But I don't think there's anything that I can really do about that. Oh, she doesn't have that much AP. Still heal off that? That's nasty. Thought if I blocked it, it wouldn't heal. Heals what I know, right? Resting. Yeah, we're gonna die not even because of the lifesteal. We're gonna die because we spawned a Dark Ranger. It's about to ulti too. Might not be the play here. I think we keep that. Okay, we can officially say that we died because of the Soul Stealer. Because he would probably be about half dead right now. But I'm saying there's a chance to survive this. I don't even know. I think this is it here. It's fine. Problem is he didn't draw any defense. So I think he dies here. And without him, we don't have a cleanse. And now we don't have a minion, so this doesn't lifesteal. Yep, we're done. Oh, we have minions, so that lifesteals. Not enough. Well, killed ourselves with the lifestealer. A little bit of a salty run back. Go here because there's very little stuff that's resistant to us. I also have no idea what we're doing, so going into Scorched Lands or Anador, Scorched Lands for an ability. Anador would be good, except for the fact that we have greens, 2 purples, and a blue. Actually, they still do have green, blue, and purple, but this might not be too bad. I don't know if any of the relics are necessarily good for us, though. Try an Anador. Why are we always trapped? Guess that's that. Cards, probably Ragnarok. Very good. The attack is pretty much just a better, not necessarily a better Voracious Bite. I can say it's better Cleaver Strike, but we're in a green area, so it's not technically the case. We will get rid of the Cleaver Strikes for these lower cost cards because we need him to actually have turns. That was probably the most terrible positioning. Lazar should have been over here. Money! Gonna be rough. We really don't have cleanse, so I don't necessarily want to take this. But I don't know if we have any better alternatives getting this cash. Cruelty? Doubt that actually might work. Cool. 6 damage if lethal, that's... I feel like this is relatively good, except I don't feasibly see it actually getting set off, and that's my main problem with it. Teleport. This would help very well with traveling boots and or the plated greaves to make him pretty tanky. This is honestly a very good card, but I think we definitely take this on Shinzo. rid of Seismic Strike since we're in Anador. Oh baby, these are all good. I'm really a fan of Crimson Rush, to be honest. Very good. Vault, obviously also good. It upgrades to draw a card. It's pretty much... This is basically a slightly worse version than the Dissolve that we almost got on Lazar. It's a little bit less shield, but Lazar has Teleport and this is Dash. Cost the same, but he takes a Hemorrhage for it. You know what? I think we take that. Royal Shield sounds pretty good. Also, him having a cheaper shield. Go up to draw one card. Interesting. I'd like to take both of these, but we currently do not have the cash. The cash barrier, though. I'm not particularly fond of that backlash, necessarily. Cash. Anybody... Like, this is very good. I think I've talked about this before. This is also very good. I really don't know about Big Game Net. Obviously, Ragnarok currently has some minions that he could use. And it gives him +1 draw, but it's going to cost him to play that card. Then he's going to draw one. Like, what? He's going to have like 1 AP. Maybe 2. So maybe we could draw into more minions, but I currently don't think that we have anything. Ooh. That in there? That does damage. Replace Void Vessel can be used on people though, so I think actually all these. The level, not necessarily take cards. That's our problem. We've got a couple cards on you. Damage. We took damage cards. Okay, so you've got some damage cards. You got minions for defense. He's also defense. You got more defense. You have attack. You don't have attack. Oof. There we go. These are all honestly pretty good. We gotta wait until he gets action points though before we grab this, because otherwise this isn't really gonna do much of anything. It'll set up his future turns, but then he's gonna do absolutely nothing this turn. This draw is wasted, so I don't feel like this is very good right now. Incredibly good. And of course, there's our big damage. We have 3 resilience or more. We can't really pop that off, but again, 2 for 8. That's decent value. Put this in there. We already have Ice Shield, so while this could be very good, we currently have something that's better, so we'll wait till we have more action points. And I'm honestly quite alright with doing that. Theoretically, this turn's going to be big, except that we drew 2 dives. It's bad, man. I should have known that that was going to happen too, because he doesn't really have a lot of cards in his deck. He could have predicted that. I would rather not take huge poison damage. Okay. How we do this? About as good as we can get it. I'll take that 2 damage. Not really much I can do to you. Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Really like you to not. I don't think we want any of this. Up tier this at an Oracle, I don't think that's worth it. Now I'd rather use it to upgrade our cards. Could get an early level here. And immediately take the shard battle. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm feeling less good about us. Fine though. Rather not get poisoned again, thank you. There was a campfire nearby though, we should be able to heal up. But again, this lineup is just unfortunate. I legitimately don't even know if we can kill this man. I'm not gonna die from this poison. That'd be embarrassing. Good lord. Well, now we can actually play this. Can't use any of these. Get to up tier him though. Like, even if we healed here, I don't know. We could take this. You would have gotten a heal. Just going here and then into here. Tell you what we're actually going to do though. We've already lost today. We're going to go hard. We're not going to give him Soul Stealer this time. Definitely for a loot cache. Oh man. I tell you, the enemies up here in Anador, this is why I never start here. They give you more life because they know you're going to need it. Wonder though. What I wonder is, gain the oh wait, that's not a blue card. Never mind. Don't gain anything. Up for this one up then. Absolutely beyond terrible. We shouldn't have done this. Whose idea was this? Wow. I obviously know that it is a possibility because we're hitting this enemy, but come on, man. Yeah, we're straight up dead. Sorry, YouTube, that's 2 losses today. If we make it out of here alive, I'll be very impressed. Of course, you would have shields. Timing on that is impeccable. Let's be a lesson to you guys as far as like team comp is concerned. When you have no range, you can't face race the elite. You have to actually deal with these enemies here on the sides, and these were enemies that poisoned us whenever we, or put these poison cards into our decks whenever we damaged them. And since we were going with a smaller deck, this became a problem real fast, especially since we didn't have the damage to just, you know, like blow it up. And this guy, same thing pretty much. Every time we hit him, he returned 50% damage. We have no healing, very poor shielding on Ragnarok. Actually, Ragnarok has no shielding. He uses minions to do that, so he just took that damage directly. And we didn't have enough damage to burst him down either. If we would have focused all this damage into the boss, it may have died, but again, without range, there was no way we would have been able to do that. And now I can't even go into here, because if I do, I'll... Oh. Anyways, you have any feedback, especially about the run? Is there something that I did that was a grave mistake, besides, of course, taking the shard battle in the second run early and giving Soul Stealer to the first shard battle? Anything else? Be sure to leave it down in the comments below. Until later, I'll catch you next time.